Hello class, this is a continuation on conditional probability. In this example, we'll be using a probability tree to simulate conditional probability. So here we go. A computer virus has spread through a company and has a 35% probability of infecting a Windows device and a 15% probability of infecting an Apple device. The company has 200 registered employee devices, of which 75 are Apple devices, and the remaining are Windows. Let's calculate these four conditional probabilities. Before we even begin, we need to model what's going on here as a probability tree in order to even begin trying to answer these ones here. So here we go. Now the difficulty in here is trying to figure out what the two events are in order to make the probability tree. With experience, you'll see that it'll go as follows. So let's pretend first that we're going to randomly select a computer. This is the computer selection. The computer could either be Windows or Apple. It's said that Apple, there were 75 out of the 200. So there are 200 registered devices, 75 are Apple. So it's 75 out of 200. It also stated that the remaining amounts were Windows. That's 125 out of 200. So that's the first stage of picking a computer. The next one is infection, or just virus. Virus, V for virus. Either the Windows does have a virus or it doesn't have a virus. Same goes with the Apple. Either it does have the virus or it doesn't have the virus. Now it's stated that it has a 35% probability of infecting a Windows device. So this will give us 0.35, which means the remaining amount is the not infected with a virus. The difficulty in this now is that this will not repeat for the Apple devices because it undergoes a different condition. So it says it's a 15% probability of infecting an Apple device. So the virus in an Apple device is 0.15, meaning the remaining amount for this is 0.85. And there we have it. So this branch here is Windows with the virus. Let's actually calculate all of these. It'll make it a lot easier later. Let's convert these into decimals. Let's see if it's nice and neat actually. Yeah, 0.625. Let's convert these. And 75 out of 200. 0.375. It'll be a lot easier to work all in decimals. So Windows with a virus is 0.625 times 0.35. That's this branch here. Windows without the virus, that's 0.625 times 0.65. Let's do these two first. That's 0.21875. That's a really strange number there, 0.40625. Especially with probability, do not round the numbers. Okay, we need the full probability here. Let's do Apple with the virus and Apple without the virus. 0.375 This one is times 0.15. This one is 0.85. 0.05625 and 0.31875. Come to think of it, I realize I probably could have used fractions and it would have been the same. But I've stuck to decimals for this one. You could have made everything into fractions and this will still work out the same. So here we go. Now that we have our probability tree, let's calculate this condition here. The probability a device is infected given it's a Windows. Okay, so that means given it's a Windows, so given is the W and V is the virus. The probability that it's a Windows given it's a virus. So the total of the Windows is 0.625. That becomes our sample space. Okay, because remember, given it's a Windows, we only want all of Windows. So 0.625 is our sample space. That's so over 0.625. And it has a virus is this one here, 0.21875. 0.21875. Calculating that. Seven in 20. Oops. Let's move everything down. That's a 7 in 20 chance, or as a decimal, 0.35. So, seeing that first example, maybe you can try the rest of them. Pause the video and give it a go yourself. So, let's try it again. Calculate the probability a device isn't infected given it's an apple. So writing that out, that's probability that it isn't infected, so virus without the virus, given that it is an apple. So that means our sample space is going to be 0.375, given it's an apple. That's equal to over 0.375, and not a virus is 0.31875. Because remember, we only want those without the virus inside of the sample space that we've been restricted to. So 0.31875. All right, 31875, yep. Calculating that. .85. There's an 85% chance that if a device isn't infected, if you pick up an Apple device, there's an 85% chance in this company that it isn't infected. Here's where it gets a little bit tougher. Calculate the probability an uninfected device is Windows. I've deliberately changed the wording here. So notice how now it's been switched around. It's saying that the condition is an uninfected device. So the condition given is that it is uninfected. So V prime is what we are given. and we're looking for windows given v prime. Now here's where it gets slightly trickier. V prime, all of those with v prime is this probability and this probability. So our sample space is the total of these two. So what we put this over is going to be this one plus this one. Again, the reasoning for this is the condition is that it is not infected. So we are concerned with only those that have that condition, v prime. Okay, so these two have that condition. W is now this one here, 0.40625. So this is the windows within the given condition. So it's this one here. It'll take a while to write this up. You can fast forward this point, 0.40625 over oops. Let's try that again. 0.40620.725. Here we go. 56.0344. What's that as a fraction? There's a 65 in 116 chance that an uninfected device is also a Windows. Maybe you can try and figure out this next one. The probability an infected device is an apple. So notice how, again, the condition given that it is an infected device. So the probability given that it has the virus, we want to know the probability that it is an apple. Well, for this, we look at the probability of those that are infected. So that with a condition of v. So 0 points, so we want this one plus this one. So we want the sum of these two as our new sample space. And what we want is the apple. So we want this condition here. So calculating this now, actually let's just add this first, 0.21875 so 0.05625 over 275. What's this as a fraction? This is 9 in 44 chance that a infected device is an apple. I know this was rather lengthy and rather difficult. Please don't be afraid to ask questions in class. So I hope that gave you an insight into conditional probability in a probability tree. Hope to see you in the next video. Best of luck.